Hey guys, here we are for your another lecture on lead morphology and placement. So today we're going to talk about the precordial leads, where they're located, the leads that are involved in the hexoaxal diagram, and the leads that are involved in continuous monitoring. We're going to talk about the electrocardiographic truth and normal QRS deflection. Okay, so let's start with those um, cardiographic truths. So an electrical impulse traveling toward or parallel to a positive electrode is going to write a positive or upward QRS complex. Okay, an impulse traveling away from a positive or toward a negative electrode is going to write a negative or downward QRS complex. An impulse traveling at a right angle to a positive electrode writes an isoelectric complex, which is one that is as much positive as it is negative. And if there's no impulse at all, there will be no QRS complex. Okay, this is when you'll have asystole or flat line on the EKG. So let's look at what those QRS complexes look like that we just mentioned in those truths. First of all, let's back up a little bit and let's look at the normal QRS deflection. So in leads 1, 2, 3, AVL, and AVF, the QRS should be positive, okay, meaning it should be pointing upwards. That R wave should be pointing upwards. The AVR QRS should be negative, meaning the R wave is pointing downward. V1 and V2 should be negative. V3 and V4 should be halfway up and halfway down, and that's isoelectric. And V5 and V6 should be positive. Okay, now let's look at what that actually looks like on the strip. So here's lead 1, 2, and 3. And here we see our QRS complex right here. And this is our QRS. And so the R is pointing upward. Here in lead 2, it's also pointing upward. Lead 3 is also pointing upward. So they're all positive, okay? Now AVR, we said the QRS complex was going to be negative, and it is. See the difference? That R point is pointing downwards in AVR. AVL is your isoelectric, so you have a point that points upward and a point that points downward. And then AVF is positive. Okay. So let's talk about this is what the hexoaxal reference system looks like. And here we see we have AVL, AVF, and AVR, and leads 1 and 2. Our leads that's involved in continuous monitoring. Here we have when a patient is on telemetry, uh, they're mostly going to be hooked up to that lead 2, which records the P wave, which gives the doctor a look at the activity that goes on in the atria as well as the ventricles. So instead of a 10 leads, they will only have either a 3 lead or a 5 lead EKG. And so here's our precordial or chest lead. V1 is located in the fourth intercostal space, right of the sternum. V2 is located in the fourth intercostal space on the left of the sternum. V3 is between V2 and V4. And remember I said you want to place your V2, then go down and place your V4, and then come back and place your V3 right in the middle of V2 and V4. Okay? V4 is then in your fifth intercostal space. V5 is going to be the same height as V4. but it's going to be on that left anterior axillary line. And then V6 is going to also be the same height as V4. So V4, 5, and 6, they're going to be on the same level. However, V6 is going to be under that armpit, okay, in that mid-axillary line. Okay, and so we've covered, that's our objective for today. And what I want for you guys to do is to give that back to me, and you can give it to me in your own words, or you can answer the questions from the presentation itself. Okay, so you're going to go back and you're going to name those leads that are involved in the hexaxle diagram. You're going to describe the location of the precordial lead. You're going to name at least 2 leads that's most commonly used in continuous monitoring. And you're going to list all of those electrocardiographic truths, as well as all of the QRS complex deflections. Okay, and I also want you to draw an illustration of that lab. Let's see, this strip right here. I want you to create you an illustration of this strip and label it. Okay, and that's it, you guys. I will talk to you all tomorrow.